All right. Hi, Tony. How you doing today, man?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm great. So I first wanted to start off by asking if you were watching any of the March Madness stuff, actually.
Um, I watched a little bit of it. I actually didn't make a bracket this year or anything like that, unfortunately. Um, but it was a good time. I always like watching a few of the games and stuff, so it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely had Gonzaga winning the whole thing, so I had a couple bets on that actually, but I was pretty depressed when Baylor ended up winning. But overall, I actually had a good time. But you're a Grambling alum, right?
Uh, I'm sorry, what was that again?
I said, oh, sorry. You're a Grambling alum, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I went back there. Gosh, so that was years ago. But I loved the school when I went there. Did you go there too yourself, or?
Oh, no, no, I'm a BG alum.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, two great schools.
Absolutely. I was just curious if you ever think that Grambling is ever going to make it to the March Madness NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we are. I think we're a little bit too small of a school for that. We don't get a lot of exposure. I know. I'd say BG's probably got a better chance than us, but I'm always keeping my fingers crossed
Absolutely, absolutely. I know their football team's made it a couple of D1 tournaments, but basketball, we're going to have to give it some time, I guess.
for sure.
We have only about 15 minutes today, correct?
Yeah, 15 minutes will be
I
good.
kind of just want to jump on into this, make sure we make good use of both of our time.
Mhm.
So the purpose for today's meeting is that I wanted to explore some new possibilities for United Bank and to see if Gartner can be beneficial to you and United Bank. Is there anything that you'd like to make sure that we go over today?
Yeah, if we could just hit on, Gartner and what you guys are all about a little bit. I know my assistant just threw this meeting on my calendar, and I'm not super familiar with the company. I've heard a little bit here and there, but if you could
Okay.
just go a little bit more in depth to that with that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I can absolutely do that for you. What I would like to cover specifically is any issues that United Bank is having or any kind of overview about United Bank so I can get a little bit more familiar. And absolutely, we'll be covering like what Gartner is about and any possible solutions that we can offer you. Um, and like we said before, we only have about 15 minutes or so. So that puts us in about 12:45. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, perfect. And then by the end of our conversation, we'll have a better understanding of a potential business relationship between Gartner and United Bank. How's that sound?
Sounds great, Zach. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm going to be taking some notes while I talk. So if I'm looking away from the camera, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you or anything like that. Okay.
I got it.
Okay. And I need to ask you a couple questions in the beginning. I'm going to put the ball in your court. Going back to March Madness, I'd
I
like to
like that.
tailor a solution to you. So to do that, I need to know where you're at. So, can you tell me a little bit about your buying process, or if anyone else needs to be here for this conversation today?
Yeah, that's a great question, Zach. So I'm actually pretty new to the role here, so I haven't implemented a lot of things yet myself. Uh,
Absolutely.
but from meeting with my team, I would have to run this by Megan. She's our CFO, so I have some freedom to make these decisions on my own. But if it's after or above a certain dollar amount, I'll have to pull her in and make sure that we have the money to make an investment and that sort of thing.
Okay. And then is it just going to be me and you in the meeting then?
Yeah, so for today, I'd just like to see what you're all about here at Gartner. And if I like what you have to present, we could definitely set up a meeting with Megan in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. So, like you said, you're relatively new to your current position as CIO of United Bank. Can you walk me through what that like? Can you walk me through what that's been like for you so far? Excuse me.
hmm Yeah, so prior to this, I was in another CIO role, so I do have some experience with the position.
Sure.
However, I never worked in the banking industry, so that's been something completely new for me to get used to. I love the job. I love how fast paced it is. I love the strategic thinking and everything that goes into the role. So I'm really excited to get my feet wet here at United Bank and start making an impact on the company.
Absolutely.
I know we have a lot of goals moving forward, so I'm looking forward to really digging into those and seeing what I can do here.
Sure, absolutely. And since we're on the topic of the goals for United Bank, can you let me know what some of those are?
Hmm. Yeah, so overall, our corporate goal that's coming in from our board of directors as well as our CEO is we really want to increase our overall revenue by 10%. Um, and we also want to incorporate that with another goal of cutting our costs by 4%. That way we can really increase those profits.
Those are some great goals for sure. So how does United Bank plan on achieving those goals currently?
Yeah, so we're all taking on different responsibilities. So, like I said, meeting with Megan, she's really in charge of right now finding areas that we can cut down some costs. She's taken the lead on that. I've been working closely with, our CMOs, our CEO, to figure out a way that we can introduce some more desire and demand for our products. Um, so I'm looking at everything on the back end from the technology side to figure out, what do we need to achieve those goals and formulating a strategy so that we can be more efficient with our technologies, but also making sure that we're utilizing technologies in the most responsible and resourceful ways so that we can gain this revenue as we're moving forward and developing as a company.
Perfect. All right, that's great. Thank you. So again, going back to you being new as the CIO of United Bank, have you noticed any problems during your time as CIO so far?
Hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest struggle for me right now personally is not being familiar with the banking industry. So at the same time that we're developing all these strategies and that sort of thing moving forward, I'm staying up all night trying to research the industry and figuring out, maybe what our competitors are doing, or trying to figure out what's the best solution or what's the best resource or technology that I can use in a certain situation. So I have an overall strategy of where I want us to get with our technology and with our technology spend, um, but really figuring out exactly how I can get there and what I need to do to achieve those goals is the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think will happen if you don't end up becoming more familiar in the time frame that you need to be?
Yeah, I think that could really put me in a tough spot, Zach. I'm new to the role, and I think the reason that the guy before me left was that he just wasn't putting in the right amount of work, and he wasn't doing things the way that the company saw fit. So, if I'm not able to get adjusted here and align this strategy with what everyone else needs, I think I might be back out looking for another job.
Okay. So I want to ask you some more targeted questions then. So how many employees are currently in your IT department?
Yeah, great question. So our department currently has 30 employees, and that spans all kinds of different things, people that are in charge of software, hardware, customer support, that sort of thing.
Okay. And do you feel the need to hire any more?
Um, Honestly, right now, I think we're doing great with our 30 people. Um, Obviously, I can't tell the future if this strategy really blows up and it's going super well. I mean, that need could always arise, but I think right now the 30 is a good size for us.
Okay, absolutely. You believe the 30 will be able to help you achieve your goals at United Bank?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And what is your IT budget currently?
Yeah, so our budget is it's about 1% of our annual revenue.
Okay.
Um, so in a dollar amount, that's probably about 12 million.
Okay. And what is the majority of its budget used for?
So we use about half of our budget, just on employee costs and that sort of thing. Um, the other half we're actually using on, different technologies, whether it's hardware, software, different service agreements or subscriptions that we need to continue to maintain so that we can run our business and keep all our information and security safe.
Okay, sure. And then do you guys currently do any outsourcing?
We do not. We do everything in-house right now.
Okay. So do you feel if you could free up some space in your IT budget, that would be beneficial to United Bank?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we're looking to cut down costs by 4%. So any way that I could do that, if I was able to save some room so we could free up areas where we could put that money to a new initiative that could help bring in money and save money at the same time, that would be perfect.
Absolutely. And have you compared your spending to any other banks?
Yeah, I could compare some of the spending. We actually have a team of interns that comes in the summer, where their sole responsibility is just to take a look at some of that. So based on everything that they find and all that, I've actually been able to use their reports since I've come here and started at United Bank to start some of my research and figure out, where we might be overspending or underspending in some areas.
Yeah, sure. And have you ever at United Bank thought to having a third party come in and do this for you?
I know it's something that I've heard talked about a little bit. I'm not sure how serious everyone's been about it. Like I said, we have that team of interns, so we do have a good amount of information to go off of as it is. Um, but I mean, from my personal experience, I think that that research is limited, and if we had more, the more the merrier. So I think we'd be able to do a little bit better and get closer to achieving that goal.
Absolutely. That sounds great. And how have your current IT contracts been? Have they felt sufficient? Have they felt like they've been costing too much?
Um, I got to be honest with you, Zach. I think just a lot of the contracts that we're tied up in, they're just expensive contracts. We're a big company that houses a lot of very personal information for our customers. So when you have that kind of technology, you got to pay a premium for it. So I think that's the most important thing for United Bank right now is making sure that our customers want to use us and feel secure using us as their financial company. So uh, that's going to be the most important thing for us. And if we have to spend a little bit more, I think that from what I've heard from our executive team, that's the most important thing.
All right, that's perfect. Okay, so just to do a quick recap of your problems, you're not as familiar with the banking industry, so your new position. You are slightly worried about your IT budget. You would like to save some money on that if at all possible. You'd like to cut your costs by 4%. You would like more research if at all possible, and your contracts are expensive. Is that about right?
Yeah, that sounds pretty close.
Okay. Well, here at Gartner, we are the world's leading research and advisory company. We assist companies in all major functions across all industries. We save you and your team time and money and drive your products forward. We provide targeted, actionable insights for achieving your priorities. And basically, we're going to give a business objective insights that to help you guys make the right decisions. So based on the needs that you identified, I am going to recommend Gartner's package. Are you at all familiar with it?
Like I said, don't know too much about Gartner, but I do appreciate that introduction there. That makes me a little more familiar.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to share my screen with you then. I would like to give a brief little rundown of what we do here at Gartner then, our main product.
Okay, perfect.
Can you say that okay?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, perfect. So here at Gartner, we offer three main products. It is research, cost optimization, and executive partner. So for research, we have three main tools being our magic quadrant, our critical capabilities, and our hype cycle.
Hmm.
Going back to IT budget, if you guys, I know you only have 30 employees, but if you would ever need more, Gartner employs over 1,000 plus research analysts to help supplement that at all. Especially as you begin to start achieving your goals, then
Hmm.
we'll probably need more IT. But so Gartner is here for that if you do need that for sure. Our first tool is Magic Quadrant. This is going to determine what your market looks like and where it's going. We're basically going to be looking at all products within this quadrant and position you guys where you really need to be. The nice thing about this is that we're saving you guys time. And so Gartner's going to
Hmm.
do most of the work for you. Our second tool for research is our critical capabilities, which is the extension of the Magic Quadrant essentially. It's basically in-depth notes about other products and services. And this would give you over a terabyte of market data. And our hype cycle gives a view of how technology evolves over time. It's basically going to separate hype from like a new product that's hyped up or a
Mhm.
product that's legitimately useful. Is this something that seems beneficial to you?
Yeah, I think over the years that I was in my past position, I could see myself using all of these in some capacity. So I'm
Okay.
definitely interested.
Okay, sure. Um, so this is just a customer testimony we have backing our research that it is that they found it useful at the very least. They needed a better understanding of industry trends, and they were the first person that we thought of to help solve their solution. Our second option we have here is our second product is our cost optimization. This is an IT budgeting tool and contract review tool. For our IT budgeting tool, I understand that you wanted to save some money on in IT, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is essentially what this is going to do for you. This is going to try and cut down those costs as low as possible.
Okay.
We're going to look at what you guys are spending now and look to see what we can cut justifiably.
Okay.
And then for our contract review, this is assisting in receiving the best possible terms in a contract. So on average, we have 75% of contracts we identify cost savings in, and our average savings are over 15 to 20%. So if you had a $750,000 contract, this would equal to $150,000 in cost savings.
Oh, wow.
Is this
Very impressive.
beneficial?
Yeah, 100%. If you could save me $150,000, that sounds huge for us.
Right. This is just another customer testimony. We're slightly running out of time here, so I'm going to go glance over this portion for you.
Okay.
And then executive partner, out of all of both of our other products, this is the one that I feel is probably least helpful to you compared to the other two. I definitely feel that the first two would have a more significant impact in moving United Bank forward.
Okay. Yeah, Zach, I got to tell you, all this stuff looks pretty good. Like I mentioned earlier, though, we do have a team that does some of that research and that sort of thing. So, for the investment, I'm not sure if we're better off going with you or just keeping it in-house.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the benefit of keeping it with us is that we're not only going to be providing you with more research than what typically you could provide with your 30 IT
Mhm.
employees, but we're also going to be saving you time where you could put your 30 IT employees elsewhere while we're providing you the research to make these decisions.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I see. That makes sense.
okay, perfect. And then the pricing for this product, this is going to be $50,000 every year for 3 years, being a total investment of $150,000. We do not do price negotiations, and there is no trial period. It is a flat $150,000 over the 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks good too, especially after a lot of the information you gave me.
Absolutely.
Um, I have had some other meetings with similar competitors of yours, and they actually had a little bit lower of a price. Theirs was around $125,000 for a 3-year contract.
Okay.
Um, so I might have to look more into them and see maybe what they're offering that you are and they're not or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we offer is we're the number one research company globally. Of
Mhm.
the Global 500, over 74% of them use us over other of our competitors. But I know we are running out of time here today. So, uh, do you see how this product could be valuable to United Bank?
Yeah, I would definitely love to continue the conversation, Zach.
Okay, so this is something that you would like to move forward with then.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, that sounds great. So, how about you take the weekend to discuss this with Megan, and then we can set up a meeting, say next Thursday around the same time?
Yeah, that should work for me. If you just send it to me, I'll forward it to Megan and we should be all good.
Absolutely, I can definitely do that for you. Thank you for meeting with me today, Tony.
Great. Thanks, Zach. Have a good one.
Yep, absolutely. You too.
Nice job.
Thanks,
That
man.
was really good.